Welcome to MarkWHO77. That's right, MarkWHO77, the show for British comic creators that work with 77 Publishing and beyond. My name is Mark Baumgarten. With me today, of course, is Ben Cullis, the editor-in-chief of 77 Publishing. Hi, Ben.
Hey, Mark, how are you?
I'm doing great. We haven't done a show for a while, and I'm glad we're back.
Was the
MarkWHO77.
last one with Pat Mills?
Last one was with Pat Mills, so that was how many months ago? That was
A few months
a few months.
before New Year, and Shah is imminent. The book is about to ship, so
I
very
was
excited.
actually going to ask you that. Good, we got that out of the way. We have a show today. We're going to be talking about Lawless, which is the Comic Con that is held in Bristol this May that 77 Publishing has something to do with. And we're going to talk to the showrunner, Sue Haddrell. We're also going to have Vicky Jakubowski, our regular co-host. She will be on during the interview segment. But I wanted to ask a few questions to Ben because as we are putting this out, so this is out the first week, right before the first week of May. So we just passed Friday, which was the beginning of the Kickstarter campaign for the 77 issue 11. Ben, what is that all about?
Well, it's all about the good folk who have been along for the ride, backing us, supporting us, making sure that the comic, which has been dubbed the future of British comics, has a future.
Yeah.
And issue 11 successfully launches via the funding platform that is Kickstarter. And I think it's our 33rd Kickstarter with all the titles we've done. And as you
Wow, that's
said, it's
quite
the
a
11th,
lot. Yeah.
iteration of the 77 comic. And of course, we've done annuals as well, and we've done other sort of 77 based books as well. So yeah, it's really, really good to be back with you as well and have a chance to discuss it.
All right. Question, how long is the campaign for? When does it end?
Okay, that's a great question. So the campaign ends, I believe, at the very beginning of June. So it coincides with the week that we'll be at Lawless, which you've mentioned already. We'll be chatting to hundreds of folk about that. If people are new to it, we'll be signing them up and giving them previews. They can see the products that we've obviously released before the books. And yeah, it's going to take us through to June. And obviously, we've got a whole schedule of other books lined up for the rest of the year.
Can you tell some of the perks that are involved now that
When you say
that's running?
perks, I suppose, yeah, I think Kickstarter land, they call them rewards.
Rewards.
The main one is the comic itself. We've got two covers.
Of
You're going to
course.
show the cover by Mike Walters, work in progress, still sort of fine tuning to do on that. And that's a beautiful cover. It's highlighting his new strip. So Mike works with 2000 AD. He's done Highborn Low. He's done Department K, a lot of
We've
Judge
had him
Dredd,
on the
and Road
show.
Trooper. And
We've
Road
actually
Trooper.
had him on the show, haven't we?
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely exciting new talent. And he did a tryout. I can say, I hope he won't mind. He did a tryout. He's done a couple of tryouts for ASM.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to see those.
Oh,
Um,
I can give you a sneak, but not on the show. I can.
Not on the show. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
not a
So
market.
Mike's got a new strip. It's called Auto Gear.
Ooh.
That's going to roll out over the foreseeable future. He gets the standard cover, and fan favorite Ian Stopforth is doing a super wraparound cover for the variant. Him and Steve Bull. I'm not going to say necessarily what the theme is because it is going to be a dropped sort of surprise, but it's going to be an outstanding cover. If anyone knows Ian's work, and you need to find out about his work. It's beautifully painted and it's just fantastic. So the artwork is available for a page of Mike's work. We've got Andy Sawyers as is completing with Dave Healy on the Silver Jubilee. He's got some artwork available, the original artwork, and he's doing a couple of detailed sketches, which were always very popular. So people need to kind of check out these to see what's around still. Other perks include we've got signed scripts, which always go down very well, and that's for Silver Jubilee as well. And Andy Sawyers has told me he'll do some quick sketching in those. Dave and him will sign it, dedicate them. We've also got collections of the new bundles of the retail book, 77 numbers 1 to 4, which are available through Diamond. They're selling in the States. Whichever company is shipping them around the States. I'm not
Yeah.
certain, via Diamond UK. Okay,
Okay.
so thanks to Carl at Diamond for basically keeping the flag flying for the British comics scene over here. And that's doing really well. We're releasing those every couple of months now. It's re-edited versions of the books which started us off. And you know, Mark,
Yeah.
5 years ago, almost to the day that the very first issue of 77 came out,
Wow.
in the
Five
smack in the
years.
middle of the first COVID lockdown.
All right. You brought up British comic books. Let's talk a little about Comic Book UK, the campaign against AI. What exactly is this? What are we talking about?
It's not just about it's not just anti AI. I mean, that's one of the featured kind of you know, issues it's dealing with, but it's more about promoting the British comic industry.
Okay.
And it's fronted by a gentleman I've got to know quite well. I've seen him at various trade shows and conventions last year. His name is Mark Fuller. He's a very experienced marketeer and promoter for industries, but his passion, if you like, is comics. And in essence, what's actually trying to be the main key focus here is to promote the industry, which does not receive any tax relief at all in investment. Very similar along the lines of the British film industry. And you know, the British film industry is where most of the films that you get to see these days,
Yeah.
most of it is filmed in the United Kingdom. And why is that? Because investors get a good return. And we're saying, look, the British comic industry, it's so well known for breaking new artists and new writers who move on and do other things, but maybe we could keep hold of them a little bit longer. Maybe we could promote those new creators, those new titles in this country. And one of the ways would be to do that would be to get more investment, make the investment efficient for investors to kind of dabble with. And it could really do amazing things. There are hundreds of people involved, if not thousands. And so the British Comic Book UK is a new trade association. In effect, that's what it is. And we're meeting the culture secretary. That's an MP, given
Oh,
that Secretary of State
okay.
position, British government. And we're meeting. It probably will have been done by the time this comes out. So on Wednesday, the 30th of April, Steve Bull and I are meeting with 20 or 30 other delegates, and we're going to be at the Houses of Parliament on the River Thames, talking to MPs and other invited guests, and the culture secretary himself, Chris Bryant, and Mark Fuller will be there. And so I'll be probably looking a bit smarter than I do at the moment, and handing out stuff that we promoted through this site and elsewhere. So really looking forward to that, and it's going to be a busy year trying to, as I say, wave the flag for British comics and the creators.
All right. Um, cool. I think we've done what I wanted to talk about in the introduction. So let's move
Cool.
on to the meat of the show. We're talking Lawless. Can you introduce our guest? And Vicky will be here
Okay.
too, by the way.
Gives me immense pleasure. A good friend of mine and the powerhouse that is Sue Haddrell.
We had her on. We had her on episode 11, and she was such a great guest. And we're talking all about Lawless and a few other things that would be of interest to all of you out there. So, what we're going to do now, we are going to introduce our guest. So, here she is, Sue Haddrell. Hello, Sue. How are you doing today?
I'm really well. Thank you very much for having me today. It's good to see you guys.
It's good to see you. We had you here a year ago, and now
We
you're back
did, yes.
talking Lawless 2025.
We're doing
Um,
it all again.
Yeah, all again. So we asked you the hardest question last time. We asked everybody who is, and we say who is Sue Haddrell. But can you tell us a little about yourself for people who may not have seen episode 11?
Yeah, so my name's Sue Haddrell. I'm the organizer of Lawless Comic Con, which is a sort of British comics themed convention based in Bristol in the UK. We have around about 300 to 400 attendees each year. We're quite 2000 AD and Judge Dredd orientated, but we've been going for this is our 11th year running this year. We're gearing up for the next year's show towards the end of May.
All right. And the dates of the convention I can see behind you are,
24th and 25th of May this year, so last
wow.
bank holiday in May.
All right, where's my free ticket over there so I can join you? I
Kick
know
your
it doesn't
ass.
happen, but I know Vicky. Oh, she's gone for a sec. Vicky went last year. I think she had a great time. We'll actually talk to Vicky a little about that in just a few minutes. But I always do this on my other show, Mark Who 42, and I think we did it last time as well. But can you tell us a little about your geek creds? What kind of stuff are you into?
Loads of different bits and pieces. I have way too many hobbies to at the moment, but comic wise, I'm a big Tank Girl fan. I've always been a very, very
Yay!
big Tank Girl fan. I actually didn't really get into 2000 AD in Dread until I started organising the convention because I knew a whole bunch of guys who sort of dressed as judges, so they came along and asked me to put something together. But so I'm currently, what am I reading at the moment? Geek wise or comic wise. So I'm reading Lenore. Roman Durge's Lenore has just been released. The Time War. So he's just I'm just reading that at the moment, and I've just started reading Chopper because I've never read Chopper before, and I'm a little bit into surfing, so that kind of appealed to me. So I've started doing that. Outside comics, I do a lot of writing. I'm really into my movies, so TV shows and all that kind of stuff. Usual kind of bits and pieces, geek creds and stuff like that. I'm currently having a rewatch of The Expanse, which is one of my favorite sci-fi.
I have not gotten into that. My sister tells me it's really good. I
So
got to
good.
see it.
It's
What kind of
so good.
writing do you do? What kind of stuff do you write?
Uh, Science fiction, horror, fantasy. A little bit more horror, to be fair, at the moment. Horror, I find horror quite easy to tap into. So I tend to write short fiction, sort of for anthologies and bits and pieces. So yeah, I've had a few bits and pieces published. You can find me on Amazon.
I'm actually going to let Ben ask the next question. Ben?
Oh, that's not fair. I mean,
Ah,
anyway, nice to see you again. How are
It's
you
really good to
doing?
see you, and
Yeah, great. So, hey, I'm not going to ask you a question. Well, apart from what do you think about? Have you seen the list of the guests who are doing the program that we're providing for you this year?
I have not seen anything. He's been keeping his cards
Ah,
close to his chest this
can I
year.
dangle a few names of
No,
interest? I
no, no,
think
no, no, no.
Steve
Go
won't
on
mind
ahead.
at all. Okay, so the 77 artists, we've got Andy Richmond, Andrew Sawyers, and Ian Stopforth, which is great because we love them, and they
Yeah.
and Andy and Andrew are going to be guests with Mike Walters, who's also included, but he's separate now because he's a kind of 2000 AD droid, and he's going to be featuring in a
He's a
little
busy
bit
man.
about 77 later. Colin McNeil is doing the cover.
Oh my God,
Patrick
amazing.
Goddard's going to be in there. As I said, Mike Walters, Boo Cook, Hunt Emerson, Clint Langley as well. Okay,
I'm
so
interested to see Hunt's
quite a
take on
bunch
it.
of people
It'd
you've
be
been
cool to see
missing.
Hunt's take on it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, and yeah, Hunt Emerson. Wow.
Yeah,
So
I know.
my question is, how did it take so long for you to get Hunt Emerson
He approached us. He approached us last year, but it was very last minute last year. He sort of emailed out the blue, going, "I'm thinking about getting back onto the convention circuit again. I've heard good things about you. Can I come and join you?" And it was really last minute, like it was about 2 weeks before the show or something
He's
like
one of
that.
my
And I was like,
favorite comedic
um, yeah.
cartoonists. He's
So
just
I
brilliant.
reached out first thing this year. I reached out. He was one of my first guests on the list. I reached out to him, sort of said, "We've got space. Do you want to come along to the show this year? We'll get you sorted." I actually know him from 40 Times because I'm a 40 Times reader. So I just know him from his comic at the back of that, so that he does every month. So yeah, good to have him reach out and just sort of say, "Can I come to your show?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you can." That was really cool.
speaking of guests, who are some of the big names that are coming?
So we got Mr. Bolland this year, who's turned into one of our regulars. It's always really good to have Brian along, and it's a great opportunity for people to meet him. To be fair, because I don't think he does very many shows, so it's always good to see him. Simon Bisley's coming this year. It's been a few years since he's been to the show, but conflicting schedules and things like that. So I think he's actually in the UK. So yeah, we're gonna go and grab him and get him along. Who else have we got this year? Uh, just trying to think. Alan Davis is another one I think that
Yeah.
everyone's quite a big fan of. So I've been chatting to him, so he's coming. I think he's actually staying the Sunday night as well. So he's gonna be hanging around for quite a while if anybody wants to have a chat with him and stuff like that. But yeah, certainly he's one of our other big names. We've got trying to think who else we've got. It's quite
We got
uh,
Ben
I
Billy,
know you
Frapery,
have
John
John
Wagner,
Wagner.
Dan
John Wagner's
all the
good.
usual
Steve
big ones.
McMahon,
Yeah,
as the usual.
I see them every year, so I forget that people haven't
Yeah,
met them
they're just
before.
regulars.
So I'm like,
They're
come back
not
to the
guests.
show. So no, all the usual. Yeah, John Wagner's coming, which is always good. John Higgins and Glenn Favour are always good to have along as well. Dan Cornwell as well. Have you seen his front covers? His current 2000 AD front cover that Dan Cornwell's
astonishing,
done.
just
It's
absolutely
Yeah.
astounding.
astonishing.
It's so good. So I'm really looking forward to getting a hardback of that at the show and see if we can get some prints of it or something like that to give away on the tombola. Robbie Morrison, really pleased to have him along, and Neil Roberts as well. We got some new names as well. Ali Fell, I'm really looking forward to meeting. I really like his artwork. And Tien Trevelyan is also coming to the show as well.
Okay.
So yeah, some new names, some soul names, some repeating names, some people coming back who haven't been along for for a couple of years. So yeah, it's going to be a good mix, I think, this year.
Excellent. Oh, I wish Vicky was on camera. She had to step out for a second.
Oh,
Okay, so we're talking about the guests. What are the
I never.
origin? Oh, there she is,
Hello.
Vicky.
She
Woo!
made it.
Hello,
Yay.
it's just
Yeah.
a nightmare I had to deal with because
Okay.
the world
You know
just
what?
does not stop.
I'm actually going to let her ask the next question. Vicky, you're on the spot. Go
Oh,
for it. Go for it. We've asked a lot, but let's see if you go for something we haven't talked
yes,
about.
you
Okay.
have. I actually was listening. I was totally ignoring the person I was on the phone with. And
That's me at work on a daily basis.
so sadly, of course, I can't come this year, and I'm very
Oh,
Yeah.
deeply sad about that. Because
gutted to miss you.
well, my husband has to have back surgery, and then it got postponed, and he's like, "Oh, now we can go." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to plan a trip to England in 4 weeks." I don't think I'm that good.
Back surgery seems to be very prevalent
There's a
for
thing
people
going
here.
on right
Yeah,
now.
hi, me too. Uh,
Oh,
But well, I want to make a statement before I ask a question, and that's just
okay.
it was. I've been to a lot of different conventions, and I think I had more fun with you guys than I have had anywhere. Star Trek, Doctor Who, general sci-fi, doesn't matter. I had so much fun with you guys.
Awesome.
It was, and I can't believe the names that you guys get.
Yeah.
And it just you get to meet your heroes, and they're so polite
Yeah.
and nice. And I know I'm sounding like really shocked here, but I'm living in America. What can I say?
Because it's so face
Um,
to face. It's because it's so small and face to face, isn't it? So you're just right up there
oh my
meeting it like
gosh.
sat at a table with them having a beer, and it makes such a difference.
Yes. I just it, my question to you is how do you get real names up and coming, been around for a while? It just they come and they're willing to do this very intimate convention where you hang out, you have a beer. And I just it's not a normal thing, at least not here in the States.
It's a combination of a lot of factors. I mean, we've been going a while now, so a lot of it is word of mouth. So artists talk and creators talk amongst themselves. So we get quite a lot of recommendations, which is really, really nice. So people are talking to each other at other conventions and sort of saying, you need to go to this one. Well, I get a lot of we crowdsource a lot of our. I mean, I'm not an encyclopedia of comics by any means. I don't know a lot of the names that crop up on my list by any stretch. So I'm an event organizer first rather than a comics nerd. I'm quite upfront about that. So we crowdsource of a lot of our names. I will literally put a big post up and sort of saying, who do you guys want to see this year? Who's on your list? Who's up and coming? Who you've been watching? And then I'll do a little bit of research and have a chat with the gang off the back of that and sort of saying, okay, what's he worked on, what she worked on, why are they popular, that kind of stuff. And then I try and mix and match